Hi, I'm David Niewolny, and on behalf of the entire Nvidia Healthcare and Life Sciences team, welcome to RSNA 2022. The opportunity for accelerated computing and AI in healthcare has never been greater. And the adoption of these technologies in medical imaging continues to increase. Today, we're going to discuss innovations in medical imaging, share the value that Nvidia is bringing to the entire healthcare AI development and deployment ecosystem, discuss challenges to widespread clinical use, and finally, we're going to propose some solutions to help turbocharge the AI innovation engine within medical imaging. Medical imaging is one of the most essential tools in all of healthcare. Two-dimensional imaging for screening and early detection. Three-dimensional imaging actually provides spatial understanding, quantitative measurement, and segmentation. The fourth dimension introduces temporal information that's essential for diagnosing and planning treatments. Now, using medical images in combination with real-time deep learning and computer vision brings us into a fifth dimension. This fifth dimension allows us to perceive our surroundings, navigate within the human body, plan actions, track objects, and perform surgical tasks. Let's take a look at how Nvidia is driving innovation within medical imaging today. Nvidia is working with leaders in diagnostic imaging equipment to provide the computational infrastructure needed to improve image quality, lower radiation dose, and run AI applications. Medical imaging breakthroughs have historically come from innovations in sensor technology at the device level. And for every leap in sensor technology, medical imaging needs a leap in computational performance. Photon counting CT is the future of medical imaging. This breakthrough would not be possible without a step function increase in computational performance provided by Nvidia's full-stack computing architecture. Let's go through a couple examples. Siemens Natome Alpha uses photon counting CT to improve image acquisition and reconstruction by reducing electronic noise, as well as lowering radiation dose and contrast material on patients. Neurologica's Omnitom Elite with photon counting detectors generates spectral CT images at multiple energy levels, leading to potentially more accurate visualization and segmentation of bone, as well as improved visualization of blood clots, plaque, hemorrhage, and intracranial tumors. An Advanced Breast CT's NewView product uses spiral CT combined with photon counting technology to deliver compressionless breast exam with absolutely amazing image quality. Nvidia is providing the computational foundation for innovators developing next-generation enterprise imaging and AI platforms. These platforms leverage Nvidia's accelerated computing stack to provide advanced visualization and AI to medical images from any device for any modality. Nvidia customer ADOC won a 2022 Mini Award for their AI operating system. This vendor-agnostic operating system makes it easier for healthcare institutions to deploy AI in radiology by orchestrating a range of AI algorithms, both from ADOC as well as a variety of third-party developers. It truly is amazing to see what accelerated computing has enabled our customers to build. The future of medical imaging is software-defined and AI-enabled. Nvidia is democratizing AI for the global healthcare industry by enabling developers to easily adopt artificial intelligence from the cloud all the way to the edge. Nvidia created Clara to harness the incredible advancements in accelerated computing, computer graphics, and artificial intelligence, and then apply them to key healthcare and life sciences workflows. The Clara Medical Imaging Platform is a set of developer tools, SDKs, and application frameworks that enable the medical imaging ecosystem to accelerate their development and deployment of AI-powered products and services, from the imaging device to the data center to the cloud. At the core of the Clara Medical Imaging Platform, we have Monai, an open-source, medical-specific AI framework that's used to develop and deploy AI models into AI applications at scale. And secondly, we have Clara Holoscan, a medical-grade, real-time edge AI computing platform developed specifically for generating insights at that point of care. Let's take a little bit of a deeper look into each of these different technologies. Clara Holoscan is a real-time edge AI computing platform specifically for medical devices, consisting of an application framework that runs a robotics pipeline. Clara Holoscan ingests and processes streaming data and images and performs AI inferencing and visualization at ultra-low latencies, as low as 10 milliseconds from sensor to screen. This application framework is optimized to run on the recently announced Nvidia IGX platform. This is a production-ready, medical-grade, edge AI appliance that comes with an operating system, built-in security and management, safety extension package, and long-term support. Clara HoloScan gives the entire medical device industry a standard computing platform for real-time edge AI processing. This saves a huge amount of hardware and software engineering time, freeing up those resources to develop what the industry needs most: life-saving healthcare applications. Monai is a community-led, open-source framework developed in collaboration with King's College London, designed specifically to accelerate the clinical translation of AI within the field of medical imaging. Monai is purpose-built for radiology, pathology, and surgical data, and tackles the entire AI lifecycle. With pre-trained models, AI-assisted labeling tools, state-of-the-art training techniques like federated learning and self-supervised learning, Monai standardizes the application development, packaging, and deployment to the healthcare IT infrastructure. With over 650,000 downloads, more than 450 GitHub projects, 160 papers published, and 11 Kaggle competition wins, the Monai community continues to grow and thrive. Let's hear from a few of our community members who are developing clinical applications today using Monai.
In surgery in general, and neurosurgery specifically, you can fix what you can see. Therefore, visualization is critical in our work.
If you're able to interact and visualize that patient's images, you are better able to plan the correct intervention and make sure that you apply the right intervention the first time.
It's a way to see Monai as a toolkit which is dedicated to AI in imaging.
So Monai is a community-driven effort to bring data science into the clinic. And that's everything from the development of data-driven products and the curation of data to then how we get those insights in front of clinicians looking after patients.
Since adopting the Monai infrastructure, it's freed us to focus on application to specific clinical problems and catalyzed that application in multiple directions.
What we can do through Monai is that be able to segment the tumor, segment all the critical structures around it, and in surgery provide real feedback data to navigate the surgeon around the tumor to make sure most of the tumor is removed. Therefore, we're providing the patient with the most benefit.
What Monai then brings is the final layer on top, which is a way to scalably apply artificial intelligence across that entire medical record, across every patient pathway. The potential scale of that is massive. I can see Monai in every clinic, in every hospital across the world.
How do we ensure that AI makes its way into every hospital, every clinic, all across the world? The challenge is bridging the gap between research and commercial deployment. Adoption of AI in radiology has traditionally been constrained by the complexity of clinical workflow and the lack of a de facto standard for AI development and deployment. It's been said that 99% of medical imaging AI applications never actually make their way to clinical deployments at scale. This puts AI in medical imaging at a critical tipping point that Geoffrey Moore famously refers to as the chasm. To cross the chasm and bring AI from the innovators in research and development to every clinic, every hospital, and every patient around the globe, there are really three key requirements that must be addressed to bring AI from the bench to the bedside. First, you need a wide and diverse ecosystem of developers leveraging a common development deployment environment. Second, you need a de facto standard for your AI application packaging. And third, enterprise support for clinical deployment of these AI applications. To expand the reach of Monai, today we're announcing the adoption and integration of Monai by all of the major hyperscalers. Leading cloud service providers like AWS, Google Cloud Platform, Microsoft Azure, and Oracle Cloud Infrastructure are all using Monai to develop AI-enabled products and services. Monai is available on AWS SageMaker, and recently at Health, they announced their new medical imaging storage service, Amazon HealthLake Imaging, that uses Monai for fast data processing and AI inference. Google Cloud Platform recently announced their medical imaging suite and featured Monai as a core component to both their imaging lab for ground truth data annotation and imaging AI pipeline for inference. Microsoft Azure is focused on delivering enterprise platforms at scale. Microsoft's Nuance Communication partnered with Nvidia to bring medical imaging AI models directly into the clinical setting by implementing Monai within their precision imaging network. Oracle Cloud has big things planned with their recent acquisition of Cerner, one of the largest electronic medical record companies in the world. Oracle has adopted Monai to develop their healthcare-specific medical imaging products and services. It's so amazing to see the reception that Monai is getting throughout the entire ecosystem, specifically with the CSPs and hyperscalers. To ease the development effort to bring AI applications from the bench to the bedside, today, Nvidia is announcing the availability of the Monai application package, also known as MAP. The MAP specification standardizes how developers build and package their AI models into deployable applications. This ensures a consistent and repeatable deployment pipeline that will run exactly the same on any clinical platform supporting MAPs. By adopting MAPs as a native application, healthcare organizations and clinical platforms can begin leveraging all of the amazing AI research that's happening now in Monai that was unavailable to them until now. MAP streamlines the model adaptation time from years to weeks, and application updates go from months to days. This together accelerates the clinical impact of AI. The MAP specification is truly the bridge the industry needs to connect researchers and developers building the groundbreaking AI models with the clinical teams that ultimately realize their benefits. This is a giant step forward for bringing AI into every hospital, every clinic, all around the world. Map once, run anywhere. Commercial AI application developers, cloud-based AI inference platforms, and large-scale clinical organizations are already taking advantage of the ability to map once and run anywhere. Cure AI, a breakthrough radiology artificial intelligence solution provider, taps deep learning technology to provide automated interpretation of radiology exams. This enables faster diagnosis and speed to treatment. They have adopted the MAP specification to widen their network of deployment options across their entire partner ecosystem with the least amount of development effort. Nuance Communications, a leader in ambient intelligence, has added support for MAP application deployments within their precision imaging network. This brings the medical imaging machine learning development framework directly into the clinical translation workflow, accelerating innovation and clinical impact all the way from bench to the bedside. The London AI Centre for Value-Based Healthcare, a team of AI, data science, research, and clinical experts working collaboratively across a wide number of academic institutions like the NHS and others, have adopted Monai and the MAP specification to standardize their end-to-end workflow. This platform is called AID and has been deployed across 10 NHS trusts and is serving more than 18 million patients. Earlier this week, I had the opportunity to catch up with George Cardosa, the CTO of the AI Center, to talk about the work he is doing with Monai and how it's impacting patients all across the UK. George, so great to see you again. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me and tell me a little bit about the work you're doing at the AI Center.
Thank you for inviting me. It's really a pleasure.
So tell us a little bit about the work you're doing at the AI Center, how you're using Monai, and specifically, how are you using the Monai application packages?
We are on a journey to make all of these hospitals AI-enabled. And for us to do this, we need to solve the translational issue of how do we go from research and development to deployment. This is where MAP comes in. It allows us to transition from research to deployment faster than what we could before.
Fantastic. So can you translate this into a real-world use case with actual clinical impact?
Of course. Stroke is currently the largest source of adult disability in the world. When a patient has a stroke, a clinician needs to act incredibly quickly. So we have been creating algorithms to be able to support the decisions of how to intervene on a patient that just had a stroke. We have run tests on these algorithms and gather evidence on how well they will work in real patients. And we're using now that evidence to further improve the algorithms so that we can deploy an improved version of those algorithms. So this cycle would only exist in a scenario where we can actually reach clinics quickly, which is almost unheard in an academic environment. And MAP really is an enabler of all of that.
It's so great to see the actual clinical impact. Can you share what you see as next for Monai?
At the moment, Monai is a collection of tools that take care of many of the pain points that you have, again, from research to deployment. But what's interesting is when you start building on that technology, and Monai goes from a toolkit to a more platformic infrastructure, you will slowly have Monai going in the direction of what I like to call the healthcare OS, the healthcare operative system. If we are able to go that far and provide that core infrastructure that anyone throughout the world can use, we will make AI a reality in healthcare.
It is so great to see the vision that George has for the future of Monai and how he views it as the operating system for AI in medical imaging. One of the biggest drivers for widespread adoption of Monai is its open source nature, allowing for collaboration and contributions from the entire global medical imaging community. To optimize AI deployment for speed of impact into the mainstream clinic, the third and final component we need is an enterprise-grade software suite. This allows us to truly harness the power of Monai. Today, we're announcing that Monai is now part of Nvidia AI Enterprise Software Suite. This gives you the best of both worlds. You can begin your journey using the open source community-supported AI development and deployment platform. Then, as you make the transition to production-ready enterprise deployment, Nvidia AI Enterprise gives you the suite of AI and data analytics software that's optimized, certified, and supported for every organization to deploy AI anywhere, on-prem or in any public cloud. Nvidia AI Enterprise speeds development and accelerates clinical impact by providing you the support you need when you need it. Nvidia Clara is the medical imaging platform that combines Monai and Holoscan in an innovative way to accelerate AI across all of healthcare. Monai is building AI workflows that address the unique needs of the AI developer, from AI-assisted labeling to privacy-preserving federated learning. Monai will tackle every imaging modality that drives healthcare innovation, starting in radiology and expanding into pathology and surgical video. Clara Holoscan is our real-time AI compute platform, built to tackle the most critical imaging use cases, like robotic surgery. We will continue to evolve this platform with new features needed to meet the requirements of these mission-critical use cases. The next frontier of AI development incorporates new capabilities, enabled by things like digital twin technology, allowing us to generate synthetic data, build AI algorithms, and validate them in virtual worlds. Our roadmap illustrates our extreme focus and commitment to bringing the most advanced computing approaches, AI, accelerated computing, computer graphics, to the entire medical imaging community. If you haven't started working with Monai or Holoscan, it just got a whole lot easier to get started. Monai and Holoscan are now available on Nvidia Launchpad. Launchpad is an Nvidia-hosted infrastructure with an entire catalog of hands-on labs, making it easy to test and prototype with the latest Nvidia technology. Begin your journey with the Monai Label Lab, designed to let you see how quick and easy it is to create annotated datasets, build AI annotation models for labeling. Then, try out Clara Holoscan Lab, where you can run sample applications using the Holoscan SDK. Nvidia is leading AI-powered innovation in medical imaging. Our healthcare-specific accelerated computing platform enables the entire medical imaging ecosystem to easily explore new AI-powered capabilities, speed time to market, and drive immediate clinical impact. Device developers can use our Clara Holoscan on IGX platform to deploy real-time AI skills directly at the point of care. The research community can build upon Monai's robust ecosystem of partners and begin standardizing on Monai application packages to expand their deployment options. And for hospitals, clinics, and medical imaging platforms around the world, you can now reduce your time to clinical impact by building or buying products that incorporate and leverage Monai. Just as the theme of RSNA 2022 is empowering patients and partners in care, you can see that Nvidia and Nvidia technology is playing a huge role in empowering the entire radiological ecosystem by accelerating the adoption and clinical usage of AI. I wish you all a great RSNA 2022. Come to our sessions, join our demos, given by Nvidia leaders, customers, and partners that'll be available throughout the entire week in Chicago. And please, keep on driving to bring AI in medical imaging from the bench to the bedside.